David Jones with that header. Keith Osgood to Steve Perryman. Now Duncan off in chase. Ken McNaught, Scottish boy. And David Jones back to his Welsh goalkeeper, Di Davis. And they bought from Swansea. Nice touch there by Latchford, and here's King again. Oh, and a good save from Pat Jennings. Not helped by the deflection on the way. But this big goalkeeper, who is soon to have a testimonial match, got down well as Andy King hit that one. A slight deflection, Jennings always behind it. Now Hamilton. But it falls nicely for Con. He's almost through now. McNaught is backing off him, a little dummy there, and a nice pass to Duncan, and a great chance here. Saved for Everton by the interception of Ken McNaught. Well, that's why they call him King Alf, and that's why the Tottenham crowd so enjoy Alfie Con's skills. And he made an opening there for John Duncan, which at the very last was stopped by McNaught. There's the corner coming in, nodded away by Jones. Another throw to Tottenham. That really was a great chance for Tottenham, though. And a goal will serve them so well at the moment. They've only won one of their last 7 games. The sad thing is that they just can't string anything together here at home. Duncan's header, and that's no more than a foot wide. That's much better by Tottenham. And Duncan getting in well on that cross. And Davis scrambling across his goal, but it was wide. King to Dobson. Bernard. And now Holt. That's not a bad ball there by Hoddle. If Alfie Con can get onto it, Di Davis right out of his goal. Duncan was going to try a chip, but it was blocked by Jones, and Con is hurt, and Pratt. Yes, that'll do for Pratt. Well, it was a breakthrough that came in a most unexpected way. After Hoddle had put through Con superbly, he cannoned there against Di Davis. And it looked as though Spurs had lost their chance. But suddenly on the far side of the penalty area, there was John Pratt. And the ball was at his feet. And from there to the back of the Everton net. Spurs 1, Everton 0, 26 minutes gone. And just the tonic that Tottenham wanted. Foul there by Jones. Taylor claiming an obstruction. Osgood. Good lass. Offside on the far side again against Latchford. No, it's a free kick to Everton. Well, that's total confusion because the linesman was flagging for something and it looked to me like a free kick, but it's a throw instead. And here's McNaught. Chipped in again. Oh, there's a chance for Hamilton. Under a great save. Brilliant save by Jennings. Well, that's the sort of save that keeps the side not only in the lead but in the First Division. Hamilton catching that superbly. A masterly piece of goalkeeping again by Pat Jennings. Perryman, Con has control on his chest, but with that dummying there, they tried to get the tackles in there, and Con denied them all of it. But unfortunately for him, Steve Perryman couldn't keep his feet. And here's Taylor. It's not a bad shot either. Oh, and what a good save. Well, that was a Taylor special. got it on that famous left foot, and it was purring all the way. That would have just crept in under the crossbar, except that Di Davis got his fingers to it and tipped it over. Spurs bubbling a bit at the moment. Everton are not a bad old side. They're fourth in the table. They've lost only one of their last 7, and here's another corner for Tottenham. Latchford's header away. Pratt trying to turn it on for Peter Taylor. Andy King back to his goalkeeper. Touch there by Latchford for Mike Bernard. Turned in for George Tilfer, and rather clumsily there towards Goodlass. That looks a better header there by Dobson for Goodlass. Pete Osgood there. Latchford tried to get in. A goal kick. Jones who won that header. Goodlass helping it on. Osgood. Naylor. Peter Taylor again. Dobson. Taylor. Warming to his task now, and I think the crowd are warming to him a little bit after that tremendous shot of his that was tipped away by Davis. Here he is again. Perryman. Well, that came all the way to Duncan. Beautiful ball there, play for John Pratt. Now he needs to turn this back. It took a deflection and landed on the back of the net, but it's a corner. Pratt turning that back well, but it deflected off Mike Bernard and almost caught Di Davis out. So another Tottenham corner with about 9 minutes to go to half-time. Willie Young is right up this side of the Everton penalty area. Alfie Kahn in there, John Duncan and Peter Taylor in there. There's the corner. 2-0, and they just failed to pick him up. Well, Perryman took that corner, and McAllister raced from way outside the penalty area to head it firmly, unmarked, into the back of the net. His first goal of the season, and a very valuable one for Tottenham that gives them that little bit of breathing space. Spurs 2, Everton 0. Well, Everton have a good deal of reason to reproach themselves. Misunderstanding that led to the first goal and made it an easy one for John Pratt. And a total lack of marking there that gave McAllister that second. And here's Alfie Kahn. Taylor. It'll be a goal kick. Everton will profit a great deal from it when Willie Young has finished showing everybody his skills. Because we've already played a fair bit of injury time. Half-time whistle due to go any second now. Goodlass. Dobson. And now Naylor. And now Duncan. Pratt's gone away on the left. Kahn is offside, yes. Set free, except for the linesman's flag. Thumbs up. That probably meant that the pass was appreciated by Kahn, but the decision was certainly the right one by the linesman. McNaught with the free kick for Everton. I think nearly 2 minutes of injury time, and I can't recall a trainer being on. Here's Latchford. And Jennings getting down to grab what could have been a dangerous one. As the whistle goes for half-time, well, a much better first half for Tottenham. Thousands have stayed away from White Hart Lane. They've missed really quite an encouraging first half for the home team, with those goals coming from John Pratt, helped by a bad mistake by the Everton defence. And then, of course, the second one coming, a beautiful goal, scored by Don McAllister from the corner. So a half-time situation here at White Hart Lane. Spurs 2, Everton 0. Welcome back to White Hart Lane then. Everton now attacking the goal to our right. These 2 goals down, although they do have a very good record away from home. They've scored in every game away from home this season. Of course, they started off in tremendous style on the opening day of the season when they won 4-0 at Queen's Park Rangers. Well, there are these 2 goals down, and here's Mick Lyons. Spurs backing off a little bit there. Oh, nice bit of skill there. Perryman in hard. Good lass. Hoddle. Well, Duncan brought down. The pity of it was that it wasn't allowed to go on, but the referee can't always be right. And it'll be Keith Osgood with the kick for Tottenham. Davis. But here's a fellow who really can electrify the Spurs side over the next few years. Young Glenn Hoddle, who's not put a foot wrong this afternoon, shows such tremendous maturity. Now it's McNaught. It's Willie Young thundering it away. Hamilton. Everton have pushed a lot up forward now. Mick Lyons right in there, and he's staying in there an awful lot. There he is, in fact, chesting that one down. Telfer. And it might go through. King! Clearly deflected, but I think the goal must go to Andy King. Certainly Mick Lyons was right in there, playing a very big part. They'd thrown him forward, and he chested it down. Andy King took the shot. It took a really violent ricochet and beat Pat Jennings. Spurs 2, Everton 1. And Andy King keeps up an amazing record. Now scored 5 goals in the last 5 games. Well, I wonder what that's going to do to Tottenham. Will that in any way shatter the confidence that's been growing? Will it make them start getting worried about the crisis that's growing around the club as they go near to the foot of the First Division? Or can they really show character and pull away now? Well, there are still something like 34 minutes to go. Taylor to Terry Noble. Taylor onto that left foot again. Duncan wanted to make something of it, but found that he couldn't. He didn't jump an awful lot there. Pratt just keeping that in play. A nice touch for Alfie Conn. Taking on King, trying to get a 1-2 going. Played well there. Oh, and again McNaught coming across to do a marvellous job in defence for Everton. Beautiful 1-2 there, played with a lot of pace and a lot of skill there on the edge of that Everton penalty area, allowing Conn to go through, only to be foiled by Ken McNaught. It's a couple of times in this game that Conn has looked as though he might squirm through, and both times I think I'm right in saying it's McNaught who has stopped it. So Tottenham's corner. Again, McAllister going in there, and that time he was marked. Pratt again. Coming up to halfway through the second half. Latchford versus Perryman. Hoddle coming in as well. Everton bringing their back four forward quickly, and Hoddle aware of it. He's aware of most things, but he couldn't find Duncan with that pass. Here's Hamilton. Now it's with Dobson. Every time Everton come forward, you sense there's a quivering in that Tottenham defence, but Naylor did well there. Fear of something that might go wrong. Since King scored that Everton goal, there's no breathing space at all really for Tottenham. Jones planting another ball in there. Perryman horizontal, getting it away. Hoddle. Nicely by Pratt for Con. Oh. Taylor. Perryman. Naylor playing it inside again for Osgood. And here's King. Telfer. We've seen an awful lot of George Telfer, but now Spurs are being made to feel something. Right. It's not only a game that's balanced on a knife edge at the moment, it's also a very entertaining game as well. And here's Alfie Con. Played on for John Duncan. Is this number 3? No! Saved though well by Di Davis. And the ball going away into touch. Con doing superbly well again, feeding John Duncan, and Di Davis coming out and saving in the nick of time. A good piece of brave goalkeeping. McNaught. Terry Naylor across there, and Neil McNabb. And it's the number 9, John Duncan, who's coming in. Well, it's his first game since his operation. Maybe he found the pace a little hard. Certainly he's added a certain thought to the Spurs defence, but to the Spurs attack. And the crowd giving him a tremendous reception. And I think it's really just a question of match fitness as far as he's concerned. And the crowd are pleased to see him back in action, and he's pleased no doubt to get that sort of reception from the crowd. Dobson. Still looks a real thoroughbred, Martin Dobson. Surprised a lot of people that he's been so ignored so far as England are concerned. After getting in the side 2 or 3 years ago. Martin Dobson. Everton's throw. Ronnie Goodlass. Well, he got that. That might present a problem or two. Latchford right in there with his head, McAllister away with his boot. Only Con is up for Tottenham, supported by McNabb. And McAllister. Well, that's a lovely ball from McAllister. Can Con make something of it? Brought down, penalty given. A penalty. The referee had no doubts. He just glanced to his left to the linesman. He confirmed what the referee thought. A lovely ball by McAllister. Con in full flight. Right on the edge of that box, just inside it. Brought down, penalty. Well, Di Davis is talking to the referee, but referees don't change their minds about a thing like that. Keith Osgood, who has scored twice this season, both of them from penalties, against Di Davis, a vital moment that could bring tremendous breathing space for Tottenham. Osgood. chance at all. He's Osgood's third goal, Tottenham's third goal, and Spurs now leading by 3 goals to 1. Everton came to North London. They were beaten 3-1 by Arsenal. That's how they stand here at the moment. Hamilton. Now King. Now Dobson. And a corner to Everton. The Spurs goals this afternoon scored by a front runner. Pratt the first one. Plenty to shout about, but Mick Lyons was way up for that one, just over the crossbar. With Pratt scoring the first one, McAllister the second one, and Osgood the third. Defenders and midfield players in amongst the goals there for Tottenham. Well, they're chanting Alfie because it was certainly a good, strong run by Alfie Tom from that beautiful ball from McAllister. Paved the way for that penalty goal. Dobson. Mr. Holland of Hertfordshire with that yellow flag. Never seen the linesman wave a flag quite as vigorously as he does. He's given Everton this free kick. Loaded in there for Latchford. Oh, and a very good goal by McNaught. A very good goal indeed by Everton. They took that free kick, and Latchford just flicked it back with his head. McNaught went diving in there. And that was his first goal of the season as well. And it gives us a very interesting last 5 minutes with a scoreline then. Spurs 3, Everton 2. So, another little period of worry coming up for Tottenham. It seemed it was going to be all their way at 3-1. With time running out, now suddenly they are back, facing just a little bit of a crisis again. Pratt catching it nicely on the volley, but hitting McNaught on the way. McNaught had a very good game indeed. He's done some tremendous work, this young Scot, in defence. He's only 20 years old. And then came up well to score a very good goal that puts Everton right back in it. Already 1 or 2 frantic whistles from the crowd. Ray Toseman won't worry about that because his watch will tell him there's at least another 3 minutes to go. Here's Neil McNabb. Well, that might open up for McNabb. Oh! Well, he did tremendously well there, McNabb. Got himself into a good shooting position, but hit it across the face of the goal, and that surprised Peter Taylor, who was just standing there as the ball whistled by him. So he's going to start looking at an assortment of watches now. Just listen to those whistles. So pushing there. Lyons on Young, free kick. If his watch is anything like mine, it says 10 seconds to go now. Crowd getting behind Tottenham really now. Barracott's header. The come from McNabb though. To lift the crisis a little bit if Spurs can hold on to these 2 points. Taylor turning that one in. Con couldn't quite reach it. Perryman's right there though. Con again, trying to knock it sideways here for Pratt. It'll come to Pratt. But Taylor supporting him down this left touchline. Another look at the watch from the referee. Wait to Pratt again. Away comes Hamilton for Everton. Well, they can build an attack, and they won't have time to do much else. Well, this is dangerous. Here's Latchford right through now for Everton, a chip, and it's there! Equaliser! Last seconds of the game, and Spurs have been pulled right back from 3-1 to 3-3. The joy is there, the inquests are here. The Spurs defenders look absolutely shattered by that. That quick break from the middle of the field through to Bob Latchford, who'd been silenced all afternoon by Willie Young. And Latchford was through, and as Jennings came out into the back of the net, 3-3. Well, that's an unbelievable finish. With something like 7 minutes left, and Everton 3-1 down, and to really all intents and purposes completely out of it after that penalty had been scored by Keith Osgood. It really made a tremendous recovery. Spurs have wilted, and the crisis at the moment here remains. Now, so little time left. Here's Bernard. Long ball played forward again. Nord forced off balance to concede that corner. Now, Spurs bringing everybody forward. Referee looking at that watch again. I make a good 2 minutes of injury time already played. Taylor with the kick. Curled him again. Willie Young coming in. And just over the top of that Everton crossbar, the whistle had gone in any case. Well, certainly the thousands who stayed away from White Hart Lane today missed a game of amazing twists and turns, and really 90 minutes of high-class entertainment too. There goes the final whistle, and Everton have saved a point when it seemed about 7 minutes ago to be an impossibility. Spurs will be very, very disappointed, especially Glenn Hoddle, who'd had a tremendous game in the middle of the field and had shown such maturity for Tottenham. Players also like Alfie Conn, who raised the crowd and roused them as well. But in the end, it was that goal. Mick Lyons, the number 4, had a tremendous game for Everton as well, coming forward and was always dangerous. But in the end, of course, it was the number 9 in the dark shirt going off there, Bob Latchford, whose goal in the dying seconds meant that it was 1 point instead of 2 for Tottenham, and a point out of nowhere for Everton. Final scoreline then at White Hart Lane. Spurs 3.
Perryman. Early cross maybe, no. I'll take on Davis instead. Now finds Ardiles. Crowd lifting themselves as Ardiles gets his little run going, but Sanson in the end was able to stop him. A mistake by Davis, and a shot by Crooks, saved by Jennings. And Paul Davis with an error inside his own penalty area, very nearly costing Arsenal a goal. That's Chris White, but it was Paul Davis who so nearly cost Arsenal dear. But Crooks' shot saved by Jennings. His heart was beating a little faster a moment ago. Sunderland, Nicholas, Miller, holding off Alan Sunderland, finding Ardiles. Ricky Villa, Galvin's made a great break down the left for him. Crooks is up alongside him as well. Garth Crooks with against the Arsenal crossbar, a tremendous shot. Arsenal backing away and backing away, and Crooks nearly made them pay the supreme price. Chris White with an acrobatic overhead, and it's all hands to the pump for the moment for Arsenal. They get a free kick now, though. What a tremendous shot by Garth Crooks as Arsenal backed away from him. Jennings beaten, but not the crossbar. Sunderland just turning it on. This might come for Davis. No, Perryman was there first. The challenge was strong, but Perryman was on his feet again quickly, and the referee calling Paul Davis to him. It was a rash rather than a malicious tackle, and the young man being told to calm it down a little bit. It was noticeable, though, how quickly Perryman was on his feet. It looked a terrible challenge, but he's a hardy fellow, and here he is now, number 6 on the ball again. Novel. It's a Good promising start this for Tottenham. And a lovely ball from Hoddle, who really looks to be on song. Perryman. Villa. Ardiles. Lost himself a little bit, but found his compatriot. Hoddle, who seems to be able to find anybody with ease at the moment. Ardiles. Crooks. And a shot. Oh! A terrible mistake by Jennings! Can't believe it! Crooks can't believe it either. And you can be sure Pat Jennings can't. He puts his hands out. How on earth did that happen? The old Tottenham favourite holds his head in his hands as Crooks shot. Well, look at that. Through those gloved hands, gently reaching the back of the net, but only just. And Spurs go into the lead with probably the most astonishing goal that Pat Jennings has ever had scored against him. Just can't believe it. Well, you need to look at it again just to believe it. Poor old Pat. Waiting for a bit of support to come alongside him. Sunderland certainly very active up front, and Sunderland trying to get away from Miller. He was held back by Miller and lashed out with his feet as he tried to get by. 6 of one, a half a dozen of the other without any doubt at all. Miller, the first offender, bodily pulling Sunderland back. And Sunderland wasn't very wise in lashing out. And Neil Midgley really having strong words for the Arsenal striker. So what the referee may not have seen was the part that Paul Miller played in it just a moment before. Although maybe he did, because he gave a free kick to Arsenal. A bit of shoving and barging going into that wall. David O'Leary, normally the mildest of men, getting on the wrong side of Ricky Villa. And the referee now sorting that one out. Now rather Hollins behind this. And Ricks also. Ricks more likely to curl it. Hollins more likely to blast it. And the two men in the wall there might just be dummies who jump out of the way and allow Hollins to drive it. In fact, he drove it straight at the Tottenham players. Sunderland, a little ducking header there on for Graham Ricks with that favoured left foot. Ricks claims to hit the arm of the Spurs defender. The referee didn't want to know. And Hoddle now trying to get Crooks on his way again. Can this be number 2? It must be for Crooks. No, he can't quite make it. Bad luck for him. A tremendous breakthrough. And he's lifted it over Pat Jennings. It looked for a moment as though the angle might be just right for him to add the last formal touch. It wasn't to be. What a ball again from Hoddle. And Crooks, who has looked so sharp and piercing in every run he's made, but that time the agony as well. Now Paul Davis, possibly a chance for Arsenal to break away right on the stroke of half-time, but Davis misjudged his pass, and here are Spurs with Hoddle. For Crooks. Oh, against the post! That's twice he's hit the woodwork in this first half, as well as scoring. And if that had gone in, that might well have been the end for Arsenal right on the stroke of half-time. Could hardly have been closer. Crooks, having beaten Jennings, hits the post, back across the 6-yard area, and Jennings gathers it with glee. No foul. Hoddle there. It's pass finding Villa. Trying to work it to this side to pick up Houghton. It's got Galvin here now. So Galvin going all the way, using his strength well, and Hollins brings him down, looks apprehensively for a moment there towards the linesman and the referee. Although the crowd were howling for a penalty, neither of the officials gave any indication that was what was in their mind. Falco. That's Talbot. Now Hollins. Little look up to see what's available, and in fairness, there wasn't much on for him. But here's Sunderland making a good run from the back for Arsenal, and a chance for Alan Sunderland. And Spurs, for a moment, were caught wide open at the back as Sunderland, Davis and Ricks were all charging in there. And I thought for a moment the ball had fallen for Sunderland. at that moment there, but it just went away, and Spurs scrambled it clear. But certainly that close shave was enough to inspire Arsenal fans, and in turn to get the Spurs fans behind their team, as Falco finds Galvin. And a free kick given against John Hollins and Arsenal to Tottenham. It'll be Ardiles with it. Throw one deep towards Falco. Well, Falco's great gift of being where it matters on the end of goal-scoring possibilities was almost shown to good effect there. A good floated free kick from Ardiles. And look how close. Hollins with the throw. Sunderland. Ardiles, Huddle, a right foot shot perhaps. Just over. Reining in their shots from long range whenever it's possible, Tottenham. And Arsenal still at the moment cannot find a really worthwhile challenging attack. Huddle just too high there. Hobson. Getting the better of Huddle. Now taking on Ardiles. Ball falling for Sunderland. Talbot was in there too. And a foul given against Roberts for his challenge on Brian Talbot. And Arsenal now get a free kick about 28, 29, 30 yards out. Again, they're left with a choice, maybe of Ricks trying something fancy and Hollins trying something a little more direct. Hollins runs over it, Ricks curls it, and Clements forced to save it. That would have just crept in by the far post. But obviously the Tottenham wall had been lined up well. Clements knew the area that he had to look after. And it wasn't that difficult to save in the end. Played wide for Houghton, but I think he might just keep it in. Yes, he has. Yes, he has. And he might well be rewarded because he's got a few up there, including Crooks. He's not away yet. Jennings doing his best, battling outside the box, and Jennings is down injured. Now what happens? As Crooks turns it in, Arsenal want to get it away and surely want to get it out of play. It's not out of play yet. Jennings is still down. It's in Spurs' interest to keep the ball in play. Arsenal must try and keep it out, but now the referee has decided that's enough of that. The whistle has gone and Jennings can get some treatment. Well, Pat Jennings had come storming out of his goal here after Garth Crooks. There he went, not content with that, he went again, and that's where he seemed to injure himself. And suddenly Arsenal were in terrible trouble. They got this on away, but the goal is basically unattended. And there's a stretcher for Pat Jennings. That's a desperate sight. For one of the game's pros and one of the most friendly of characters, who's had a nightmare here today after that shot from Garth Crooks slipped through his hands. And now as he tried to challenge Crooks outside the area, he gets himself injured, and suddenly Arsenal have a mighty problem. A goal down, a goalkeeper off, and a substitute about to come on, and it's Nicholas who is going to go into goal. Cup tie against Spurs with Pat Jennings in obviously a lot of pain, hobbling out of this game. And getting a tremendous round of applause, it has to be said, from the Arsenal fans. You look at them behind that goal, that's the measure of the respect they have for the man. Maybe his mistake will cost him a cup tie. Maybe they also remember the many games that he's won for them with some brilliant people. It's all Spurs now. Houghton leading by a goal to nil. Hoddle crossed in once more. Crooks! The flag was up as Crooks with a bullet header. In fact, it never went into the goal. Well, that's an optical illusion for you. That's amazing. From this angle, it looked as though it was nestling in the back of the goal. A few thousand Spurs fans thought so as well. But there you have it. The camera cannot lie. And Nicholas was not beaten. Our dealers. Galvin still trying to curl one, and Nicholas saved it. Herriman. Sanson. Well, our dealers got lost there. Ricks played it forward. Clements quickly out of his goal. The goal by Garth Crooks in the first half that crept through the arms and the hands of Pat Jennings. The holders go through to round 4. Their supporters are jubilant, not only with a cup-tie victory, but against the oldest of enemies. Sporting gestures there from the Arsenal skipper David O'Leary and young Stuart Robson. The game played in a good spirit, by no means a classic, but for Tottenham, the best possible result. A nightmare for Pat Jennings. His mistake led to the only goal, and then finds himself carried off with what looked to be a thigh injury some 10 minutes from the end. Final score then at White Hart Lane in this third round FA Cup tie. It's Spurs 1, Arsenal 0.
Miller, the long ball forward. This time Crooks is onside. Hoddle's up there with him, and here's Crooks. This could be danger for Wolves. And a penalty given. Crooks brought down, and a penalty given. And I must say that Mike Taylor had not the slightest hesitation. Here he goes through now. And indeed a penalty quite justifiably given there. It was the Uruguayan Villazan who brought Crooks down. And a chance for Hoddle to give Tottenham a lead as we come towards the quarter hour. 1-0. Glenn Hoddle's 8th of the season. Sending Bradshaw the wrong way. Now Crooks. Ooh, a bit of space here away on the left, and Tottenham men are filling it well as Velia sends the fullback Houghton on his way. The cross coming in, and what a beauty there! Oh, and he put it wide, Archibald. What a goal that would have been! A tremendous break. And it was Velia and Houghton. There's Velia's pass there to Houghton. What a ball played in there by Chris Houghton. And Archibald made a connection. Bradshaw put him off enough, and it went wide. And the linesman flagging. A free kick to Wolves. Holyfield with it. Played in lower there towards Eaves. Can he get round Smith? No, he can't, but he gets a corner. So we're halfway through the first half. Wolves get a corner, a goal down. Hoddle's penalty after 13. Daniel's taking it, but big Colin Brazier, 6'1.5" of him, standing there at the near post. Might well be the main that he aims for. Indeed it was, for a little flick back, but Lacey was there. Knocked back in there, goal! Atkinson for Wolverhampton Wanderers, which silences the Tottenham crowd. And all beginning with that corner, in fact, flicked on and then knocked out, and Atkinson turning it back in to make it 1-1. Hoddle onside. A good decision by the linesman. Crooks well onside. Ardina's up supporting him. Crooks! an amazing goal because he ran half the length of the field before he beat Bradshaw. And Bradshaw must have wondered whether the pass inside was coming in for Ardiles, who'd made ground, and Archibald had made ground. It's Hoddle who gets Crooks on his way. As you can see, no more than 2 or 3 yards inside the Wolverhampton Wanderers half. And there's just that little bit of a gap there. Oh, and he puts it under the man. Here's Houghton ducking in with a header. Here's Villa. Perryman. Played now for Ardiles. Smith. And Villazan getting it to Holyfield. Lacey turning it back again. Here's Daniel with a little touch there. Oh, and this kick. Crooks. Out of save by Brazier. Oh, that was Atkinson's miss kick that very nearly allowed Garth Crooks in, and would have done but for a good save here by Paul Bradshaw. Lacey, Crooks. Ten minutes of the first half remaining. And a slip there by Mick Holyfield, which was unfortunate for him because the ball goes straight to Crooks. Terrific save by Bradshaw from Garth Crooks, who's really in the mood like the rest of the Tottenham side today. After Holyfield has slipped and given possession to Garth Crooks, let's look at this. And a lovely piece of keeping by Paul Bradshaw. So Spurs corner. Really on the rampage, Tottenham, but still only leading by 2-1. Here's Hoddle. Cross in there. Then beat them all. Will it beat Crooks? Oh, just across the face of that Wolves goal. And there were 4 Wolves defenders right on the line as that skidded from Garth Crooks, who's dynamite at the moment. Let's look at this again as Crooks. And just look at the Wolves players along that line, and it somehow stayed out. Richards from Hibbett. Clark. He's found Mellives. Good shot. And can somebody there finish it off? No, they can't for Wolves, and as well for Spurs that Chris Houghton was there. Mellives holding his head because that certainly looked an equaliser. Danes couldn't hold it, and Houghton whacked it away as 2 Wolves players came in. Daniel coming in there. Here's a chance maybe for Mellives again. Well, it wanted a little more curl on it, but that's twice now in the space of a little over a minute that Mellives has suddenly found himself with a bit of space there. It's Carr again for Wolves. Humphrey. Oh, and Humphrey losing out to Ricky Villa. Crooks is up there with him. Archibald's making ground as well. Villa going all the way. Oh! It was pushed behind by Kenny Hibbett, who somehow got back there with the goalkeeper beaten by Villa's run and shot. Corner already taken and over the top. Well, they took that corner pretty quickly. But we ought to look again at Villa's run here, taking them on, and then deciding you'll get the shot in. It's just look, Kenny Hibbett just turned it away for the corner. Oh, did well there, Humphrey. Under pressure from Crooks, turned it here and found Daniel. The long ball here. And it could be a chance now for Richards. And he's made it 2-2. Oh, what an amazing sequence of events there. Wolves having sorted themselves out at half-time, looked a much better bet in the second half so far. And when in the first half it looked as though they were totally out of it, now suddenly they've pulled it back to 2-2, which was the score here last year. Lacey couldn't quite reach this one, and it gave Richards that chance as Danes came out, and the ball just crossing the line there before John Lacey could get to it. But equally it's true that with this man Kenny Hibbett, oh, and he's played it back there for Crooks. And here's Archibald over the top. Well, Well, I was about to say how much more formidable Wolves had looked in the back four since Hibbert had gone in there, and then he goes and does this. A ball played far too short there for Bradshaw. Crooks quite couldn't get the touch to it, and Archibald, when he could, well, it was too firm a touch and was way over. Perryman, Ardiles. You still get the impression that this is a game that Spurs could win, but also that it might be a bit difficult than it was in the first half. Header, just wide. Nicked off the post, in fact. Ardiles holding off his man there. The flick to Hoddle, bringing it on to the left foot here. And I think it may just have clipped off the post.
Here. Hoddle. Not too much width again, except Houghton. And Hoddle, aware of that fact, comes to Villa. Well, it's a good job that one didn't go in, otherwise all goal competitions would have ceased at that point. On the full by Hoddle, out to Houghton, straight back by Houghton, and well wide finally by Ricky Villa. Keegan, the strain of the neck muscles, but he didn't really make a contact. Oh, save, and that's in spite of being kicked. Perryman, Villa. Perryman. Hazard. Well taken by Archibald. And the goalkeeper got down well. Hazard, who found Archibald. Archibald did a lot himself. And Katalinic had to adjust his position a bit. Got down well to his left. Shoulder to shoulder. Hoddle. Perfectly weighted for Galvin. Hasn't found his crossing form yet. Villa. Hoddle. Hazard waits, Archibald waits. Villa waits to the left. And he's got away. Hoddle. Roberts! And Hoddle turns to look for Roberts, and Roberts for Hoddle. Patient stuff from Tottenham. And finally rewarded. But Agboola lost his challenge on Roberts. He got inside him and scored as a result. So I think feelings of relief as much as joy around White Hart Lane. And it had been difficult for Tottenham. Southampton playing it very cannily. And they now get the free kick, which Roberts prevents being quickly taken. Holmes. Out by Price. Villa. Agboola. Galvin. And good start from Agboola. Took off to deny Hazard, who was behind him. And one can sense that the crowd feel that Tottenham have now started to roll. Price and Roberts forward. Here's Villa. And the corner. Graham Roberts in the foreground there. His goal said an awful lot about the player. Sheer determination to get there first. And he wants it again. And he might just get it. He has. He didn't strike it true, if truth be told, but it was good enough. So 2 goals in 2 minutes for Spurs, 2 goals in 2 minutes for Graham Roberts. And he was left all alone. didn't get hold of it, truly. But it brought smiles on the Tottenham bench and all around the ground. Not least on the face of Roberts himself. The whole atmosphere of the game and the ground has suddenly changed. Nicol. Agbula. Shannon. Challenge was determined enough by both players. Ball. Shannon. Promising. Keegan. Shannon. That was well thumped by Armstrong. There was a key challenge by Miller just before that. Bowler and Hazard. Price. Keegan. Certainly doing his best to galvanise the side. Alan Ball hasn't found his touch yet. Villa away from him cleanly. All possibilities here for Tottenham. Archibald's wasn't a particularly good ball. Southampton now back in some numbers. Villa. Huddle. Villa gets applause, but a simple and better pass in the first place might have produced a goal. Galvin. Waldron times the challenge. Predictably, Roberts is already well forward. Corner quickly taken. Houghton. Roberts. Off the crossbar. Well, if he doesn't get a hat-trick, it certainly won't be through want of trying. It was a curling header which beat the goalkeeper and smacked off the crossbar. Galvin. Hazard. Came off Agbula for the corner. Miller, number 3, prepared for the run. And in comes Roberts again! Really fine save. But what are Southampton doing about it? He's got the freedom of the ground wherever he goes, particularly if it's in the penalty area. Every time somebody tries to mark him, they just are lost by him. Price, Archibald. Finally away by Baker. Huddle. Southampton are being torn to shreds here. Huddle. Too high. Tottenham go away to great applause, and how the game changed as a result of the first goal scored by Graham Roberts, made by the man following him off, Glenn Hoddle. And Roberts getting a second, and Southampton, who started in very canny style and caused problems to the Tottenham defence, go off to try and sort out a very difficult situation. Players greeted by heavy rain and a certain amount of hail. The spectators have already improvised where necessary.
and it's Tottenham now attacking the goal to our left at the start of the second half. Eases up just in time for the game to get underway. Here's Paul Price. His problems in the early moments of the match. Nickel. Southampton have scored 53 goals to be the top league scorers in the first division. And the reserves are on top of their league with 73, but the first team has now gone 2.5 matches since they last scored. And he found the way through because of the bender. Roberts. Vicious bounce for the goalkeeper, Katalinic. Just look at that smile. A hat-trick. A ball to be collected afterwards. And a fine performance. Took his time, and when he shot, the bounce was really unkind to Katalinic. Which will perhaps please Graham Roberts most is that he's a Southampton lad and they let him go. Two spies from Leicester, Mark Wallington and Eddie Kelly in the back row there. I wonder what they feel about it. Archibald ran a bit for him, but he made it work. Villa. Waldron who turned it away. Hazard. Huddle. It was a stumble and a shot at the same time. Trying to get over the ball. And there's a face that has seen an awful lot happening in front of him and not been able to do too much about what's gone past him. With the help of the constabulary. A very polite policeman too, took his cap off, his hat off to give the ball back. And he's struggling a bit, Waldron. But he was lent on too much by a bit of Argentine beef. Ball. Shannon. Agbula. So I think this young man is going to be a very good player. Shannon, here he is again, Agbula. That's nice. This is Waldron. Baker. 3-1. So Graham Baker celebrates his 100th league appearance with a goal in the 56th minute of the match. Move started by Agbula just inside Tottenham's half, and it was well worked down the right, involving Waldron, and Baker took his time to put it in. As the ideal is entitled to feel that Tottenham will be able to manage without him for the time he goes to Argentina. Baker. Roberts. Huddle. There's Armstrong. He's done a fair bit of work trying to follow him. It's a Good ball by Miller, nicely weighted, beautifully inside by Perriman to Galvin. And it ends with a spectacular save from Katalinic. Some good play by the defenders. First by Miller, then by Perriman, who laid it beautifully to Galvin, who hit it strongly. And Katalinic catapulted himself into the air. Villa coming for the short one. And it's played nicely to Galvin. Who brings out another high-flying save from Katalinic. Same player denied both times. He's seen it all before, many times. I think there was a push and possibly a call as well, but certainly a push by Roberts. Keegan. And he's got away from Paul Miller. Shannon wants it far post. Up comes Armstrong. And it was gathered in. Fourth goal of the match coming in the 55th minute. Southampton are going to introduce David Puckett into the fray, and he's going to replace Alan Ball. So it's a last gamble by Laurie McManamy. Puckett's first touch. Miller offside against Ricky Villa. Nickel. Baker. For Keegan. It's promising. Oh, and it came off the ground and up and off the crossbar. Keegan looking heavenwards. Baker, who played him in beautifully. And the luck with Clements. I think that expression was aimed at Ricky Shannon. Interesting thing about Ray Clements, how much he's enjoying his football. Hazard, Archibald, and Keegan is offside. Villa. Muddle to the square, didn't call for it. This is Chris Houghton who's offside. Baker. Houghton. Villa. That's a fairer contest. Villa once more. Difficult to see a Tottenham player who was asking for the ball. And here's Shannon leaving Miller. And he was a little more hasty than one has seen him in the past. If he was going to chip the goalkeeper, he didn't really set himself. Clements well forward. Baker. Keegan. Armstrong at the back of the area. And it's there. Deflected there off Steve Perriman, I think. So with 7 minutes left, it's 3-2. And that goal has been on the cards for some considerable time. And Clements infuriated, as I imagine Keith Burkinshaw will be. And certainly he now very much the more worried of the two managers. now on the bench alongside John Mortimer. Well, these two teams played a 4-all draw last season. It's so difficult when you're on the bench and things are going wrong. Two minutes left, and here's Hoddle. Who'd be a manager? It's a chase for Keegan. Nothing too artistic about that clearance. Crowd anxious for the final whistle. Chance here for number 4. And number 4 for Roberts, it will be handball. And the referee, applying the letter of the law, will have to check his spelling of a Yugoslavian name. It's almost as though he was just saying that he understood what he did, which anybody who has any feeling for football must do. There was nothing sort of vicious or unpleasant about it, but it was obviously a deliberate foul, and it denied Roberts, and therefore a booking. And Hoddle to take. Well, Hoddle obviously thought it clipped Katalinic's head, and Katalinic did duck out of it in the end. Another look at the watch, and it's the last one. And Graham Roberts' hat-trick.